What's up, everybody? It's Hillary from INFX TV, and I'm here with my man, Jeffrey.
What up?
My main man from Auto Alchemy.
Primary man. Auto Alchemy, yeah. I have a YouTube channel. My personality type is ENTP.
Oh, right. Basic information here.
Yeah, basic information.
Especially since today, this topic of this video, is what is my type in OP?
Right.
So we submitted I'm now very conscious of how I'm speaking. We, Jeffrey actually did this on my behalf, submitted my YouTube channel so that I could be typed in OP, and the results came in today. So here we are. We haven't seen them, but we've known that they've been sitting in Jeffrey's inbox for the last like 5 or 6 hours.
I didn't intend to, but I told Hillary that I saw the little notification on my phone, and I thought that was going to be generating a little bit of excitement, a little eagerness to get through the day, and not that it would create this weight hanging over you.
I mean, I just wanted to know.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, my day was busy anyway, so. But here we are. Lasagna's in the oven. We've got an hour to kill, so
yes.
Let's see what it is. My hope is that it's I've told this to Jeffrey, but ESTP or something. Something that I would not expect. But I'm scared. The worst it could be is INFP.
Well, maybe there's a reason that the ESTP impersonation video is so good.
We'll see.
All right.
Here we go.
And I guess I will say really quickly, in doing this, I've been trying to think about Hillary through the lens of objective personality and, tabling everything that I know about Myers-Briggs and all of the associations I have of Hillary as an INFP, and trying to think through what I personally think she would come out as in OP, and the thing that I landed on, kind of my tentative final guess before today, was a play ENFP. So NETE.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
Play, consume, sleep, blast, probably. We'll put that on the screen, so maybe it's a little easier to process.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's take a look and see.
You look first. I want to see your reaction.
Look at. I'm gonna try to cover up some of my stuff here, but hello, Hillary.
What is it?
Oh, I'm just saying the hello, Hillary.
Oh,
the type we arrived
at.
Okay. She's eager.
It's been a month of what is it? It's fucking INFP. Did I get ISTP? What am I? Am I an EJ? What am I?
Here, maybe you should just read it.
Oh shit! Oh shit! No! Okay, here's the thing. Someone commented on one of my videos. Wait, this is ESTJ.
Yes. Let's play ESTJ.
This is an ESTJ. That's a fucking killer. Ever since someone on one of my videos was like, "You're an ESTJ," I have not stopped thinking about that comment. And it got deleted. It's not there anymore.
You didn't delete it. They deleted it.
They deleted it because they got into this little fizzy with someone.
Fizzy? Yeah, I know what you mean. Like a tizzy? Is that the word? Or a...
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a word, like a little tiff or something.
Yeah, but with the F, it's a fizz.
Yeah. They've been fizzing. So.
Anyway.
Somebody recently...
I was like, you've got to be kidding. I was like, there's no fucking way.
Wow, I'm dissociating.
I know. That's so crazy. Wait, bring it up. Okay, hello, Hillary. The type we arrived at for you is double feminine, TENE, play, blast, sleep, consume.
Okay, interesting.
Consume last?
That would be the one that
I don't know if I agree with
shocked
that.
By, yeah.
We watched all your footage and are as sure as we can be. This is our best guess, though, so we hope some of this is helpful.
Interesting.
I'm not going to argue. Well, the TENE, that's not, I would have agreed with your ENFP.
Right, I mean, that's like a weird inversion of what my guess was. In some ways, and not other ways. So...
Okay, so I won't really argue with that. I don't care what the letter, ESTJ, whatever, but like, consume last is what I don't understand.
Yeah, I find that hard to wrap my head around, too. I think that's like the weirdest thing in here for me to process.
High blast is weird. I really would have thought I would have been like play consume.
Yeah, I think if... Yeah. I mean, obviously that's what I guessed.
An ESTJ playing fucking blast.
Sleep, consume. Yeah.
That's
so,
hilarious.
I mean, but this kind of checks out with some things you've said to me, right? Like, well, I mean, maybe you can, like, bend the argumentation to make it work, but...
This is fucking killing me.
God. Yeah, me too. You're gonna have to make the ESTJ rap really good.
Oh my god, yeah.
Okay, so... You have said before, like, as far as, like, learning, you don't want to learn on your own, and you want to, like, bother other people and learn through other people. That's the play, right?
What does blast have to do?
So the other thing, and I don't really know how...
I feel like I'm consuming all the time. All I do is look for, like, the next thing.
Right. Well, that's fair.
Maybe that doesn't... Right. I'm trying to also... Remember, they literally just used my YouTube footage.
Right. And I would say, for me, this is like my weakest coin. So I don't know if I have enough of a grasp to even try to make sense of it. I mean, looking at your YouTube... Okay, so...
What's your weakest coin?
Consume and blast. And like...
Oh.
Often being able to articulate some of the finer distinctions within that.
You mean your understanding?
My understanding.
Consume and blast. Okay,
yeah,
I was like,
sorry.
what are you talking about? You've got high... both of them.
My weakest understanding, so like trying to make sense of what consume last would be like, because that doesn't really check out.
Oh my god, I'm a fucking NT.
Well, obviously that doesn't surprise me based on what my guess was, but...
so funny.
Interesting. Okay, another thing about blast, often associated with like learning by doing as well. So it's like, I don't want to sit down and like slowly digest the information and then go do it. It's like, I want to do it, and then through doing it, I will digest the information in some capacity. I often think of blast as being, let's be on the same page. Like, let's all be on the same page, especially with TE, to like get this done properly.
Okay.
I cannot...
That's so weird. I just
consume last. I don't know about that.
I know. Wait, so this would mean... Okay, wait. Let's... Double feminine. Feminine sensing. Feminated.
For example.
Feminine as a... What? What does that have to do? How's that feminine? Because I don't fucking remember the word. Okay.
So maybe that's where, like, your perceived communication problems come in. Is more about, like, not having the right language in this, like...
Yes.
To pull from the detail, the sensory to pull from to explain yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think that would apply even with, like, play consume.
This is so funny, dude. I love that I've been on so many people's channels of, like, I'm representing an INFP. And I'm always like, we talk about stereotypes of INFPs and shit.
Oh my
Or, like,
God.
people ask me questions, and I'm like, I don't actually know, dude.
Right.
I would say my experience is, like, this.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, fuck stereotypes. I get why they're there and they're helpful, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just so funny to me. Sorry, everybody.
Well,
how did none of y'all know?
This is just a data point, right? Apparently some people had some ideas.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is everyone seemed to had conflicting thoughts, I've been told. ISFP, INFP, ESTJ, ENFP. I've had ENFP a lot.
I actually thought maybe ISFP would be the outcome on this one.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been surprised. This is still cool. This is cool. It's different than what I've, like, you know, the label, I should say, I've used.
Yeah.
For the last long period of time. it's still all the same functions.
That's something. That's being in the right ballpark. And
So,
I mean, hypothetically,
upside down, which is like classic.
Well,
kind of upside down.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you were seeing the NE, and I think at the very least,
yeah, I was pretty 99.9% positive I had to have NE savior.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. There's just like so much to try to process with thinking about this, but
Jeffrey's had dreams about this.
Yeah, I've been having dreams about this. Like I had 2 dreams that sort of indicated that maybe Hillary would be an IJ of some kind.
One of those closet INFJs.
Yeah, like an INFJ in one dream, and what did I say for the other dream? I don't remember now.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh well, doesn't matter that much. You mentioned being self-conscious about the way that you were talking and the intro leading up to this video, because you said something about like we, and that's something that's been like deep in her psyche lately. I
know. I've been so freaking aware of that. The fact that I do that. I was listening back to one of my videos, start talking about we. I'm like alone in my car. And that kind of tipped me off. Gosh, I do that a lot. Maybe I'm going to come out with some kind of like extroverted decider as a savior. Because I think in terms, I guess I must.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you just like naturally gravitate towards talking about
that
it.
Doesn't surprise me. And the fact that I really do shy away from giving like personal details, I feel, because I feel there's more merit. And right, this also is like, I have a YouTube channel where I'm talking to a group of people. It's a group I'm addressing.
Right.
So like I'm more likely to, and I think maybe people in general are, maybe that's where I'm wrong, is I assume that, oh, well, because you're in this scenario, you will be this way. But like, I want thoughts and useful information to come across to people in the most applicable way. So that means leaving my particular story out of it. And I want to give information that I think everyone could extract something from. And I value that more than thinking the alternative, which is like, oh, my specific experience is gonna still do something for people.
Right.
Even if they can't like personally relate or haven't had the same exact story, but I just don't default to putting value there.
Which also sounds a little bit like the savior intuition just completely steamrolling over the details. Like the details of my life, for example, my personal SI like life don't matter all that much. I'm going to give you like a big picture, zoom out, apply the tool as needed. Yeah. Yeah,
very, very interesting. I can understand the TE and the NE, I guess.
But once you like try to convert it into like an ENTJ or ESTJ,
that's where I get.
That's where it's like funny. Yeah, it's definitely funny.
I've like never gotten. I don't know. It is so. Is it considered an intuitive type or a sensing type?
Intuitive type, yeah.
Just because the NE is a savior.
Right. Yeah.
I wouldn't have argued really if they gave me a sensor type, though. I could have believed that.
I could have believed that too, yeah. And I mean, having it in the middle,
that's
makes
true.
You like somewhat more of a sensor than I am. Well, maybe much more of a sensor than I am.
Much more.
I'm just thinking about yesterday falling off of my board. But that's a really bad. I know. I'm just.
The first time you went and stand up. Oh, sorry. Oh my god. Listen. The first time Jeffrey went stand-up paddleboarding was yesterday. He did so good. He did so good because here's honest truth. I didn't think he'd be able to stand up.
Me neither.
No, you did.
Well, that's fair. I mean, I hoped to stand up for maybe like 30 seconds tops. Just to like get my feet wet, but not literally in this case. Yeah,
well, he did great. He stood up way more than 30 seconds. And at the very end, he ended up falling in. So he'd already established that he could do this.
Right.
But yeah, he fell in at the end with a very nonchalant way of letting me know.
Yeah, I said, what did I say? He losing it.
Oh, he losing it. I hear he losing it from just behind me, which he had said similar sentiments earlier, and it had been fine. So I was like, whatever, Jeffrey's just playing. And then like a solid 10 seconds pass, and we're paddling along, whatever, I should say like this. And then suddenly, like out of nowhere, there's this crash, and I must have. It felt like forever to me between like you saying, and I don't know if it's just because like my mind was just like, doing whatever it was.
And for me, like I kind of like blacked out because of I think anxiety, and so I like to imagine. I don't know what was happening in that 10 seconds, but I like to imagine that the whole time I was just trying to stabilize behind.
I turn around and he's like coming up from the water, gripping his board. There's like this pontoon boat. The fisherman's like, "You want me to come over there? You need me to come pull you out of the water?" Jeffrey's like, "No."
I mean, and truthfully, it wouldn't have been inconceivable that I would have required his help because
I'm trying to show off Icarus's tail.
I cannot actually swim particularly well. I had to take a survival swimming class in college, and so that's what my level's at. I can survive. I even thought about letting go of the paddle board and just like seeing if I could drift there.
You probably could have.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I mean, your body was just doing what it could, it thought it needed to. Your body just default took over, which is nice. Now you can trust your body.
Yeah, that's the thing that scares me is that I don't trust my body, and I was afraid that I would like panic and just start taking water in and then die. Game over.
I don't understand why TE's first for me. I'm sorry, I'm listening to you and then I'm having all these other... Why is the TE first?
Okay, so...
Oh, this comes back to like observer, decider.
Yeah, observer, decider. I mean... Okay, so this is another one that I might push back on a little bit. Obviously, it wasn't part of my guess, but I can kind of see where they're coming from if I... So not only do you have like the we talk, which could just be like having TE as your second savior, right? But it seems like the main thing that you're processing in your videos always comes back to like, it's like some kind of like pep talk that you're giving people, how to deal with people in the workplace, how to like process your personal identity. And
okay, so it has to do with the people over the info.
I think so. But at the same time, like, I feel like your YouTube channel is, and I know that everybody like always like tries to like rationalize against the type once it's been received, but your YouTube channel is a very like small part of your life.
Oh yeah.
And you don't make videos that frequently.
Right. That's like the only time I feel like I'm processing shit like that. So that's another thing that's interesting.
And I feel like I see like similar any observer related freakouts from you, like with having to deal with bullshit at the DMV, for example.
Oh, yeah.
You know, little things like that. Like the little...
And the thing is, like, yeah, never mind, don't make me... I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, yeah, it's going to be a whole thing, and she'll get fired up. So there's that. So it's almost... It feels like a toss-up in some ways, but it seems like ultimately that's the thing you're processing. And I don't know if that's, like, you being balanced enough that you're, like, okay to talk about the people and the value struggle and the identity
I don't know.
struggle.
I feel like that doesn't trip me up as much, even if I'm talking about it. Maybe it does in ways I don't know.
Well, but okay. So another thing might be like the EJ martyr syndrome, or like losing sense of your identity. I know you've said you've had that trouble in like relationships in the past.
Oh,
it's like,
that's true.
I go all in for the sake of the unit.
That's true.
And then
that's
suddenly,
I have to watch out for that. I need to make sure I'm doing things on my own.
Yeah, and then the tidal wave of that is like suddenly you don't have that unit anymore, and you have to live on your own.
That's true.
But that could, again, it's like you could take that either way, and so any TE, any. For me, it's still really hard to see of those two on the basis of these observations anyhow. Right.
There's like multiple factors and layers going on with this.
Mm-hmm. What's interesting though, looking at the type again, it's like you are probably the most
Extroverted.
Do-oriented, I was going to say type. Oh, it's okay. Like by being a decider, and then by being, I think sleep last would be more extroverted actually, because it would like really bring out the play, which I'm still, yeah, I think I could buy that honestly before this. But anyway, being do-oriented, being a decider, and then being energy dominant, and then blast, like all of those things to me like have like a do action-oriented mentality surrounding them, and there is something to that. I know, like the comparison between the two of us.
It's true, y'all. I took like 3 walks yesterday.
It's just hilarious.
It's true.
Yeah,
it is. I find it very, very difficult to not do something, and it's so hilarious because I think in my mind, oh, when I was younger, it was different. Mm-hmm. But then if I actually like think that, I'm thinking of things like, oh no, now my brain is too wonky. Let me try to like, 1 second, reframe. This is why I thought I had low blast. Okay. When I was a kid, my mom tried to force me to have what she called downtime.
Oh, yeah.
This was a death sentence. Also, I was grounded a lot as a kid because I was a pathological liar. Is your typical INFP shit.
I still have to ground her these days.
I'm being completely serious. I lied about anything and everything that I didn't want to do. I didn't want to do my homework. Sorry, I'm just thinking about this. I didn't want to do my homework. My parents would ask me if I did it, so I just say, yeah, I did it. Would you turn in this thing so you can take the SAT to like further your education and get into college? Oh yeah, I did that. Who wants to take the SAT? Not this bitch. Some of those instances were just because I genuinely forgot. I'm like incredibly forgetful if it's not something that I like write down or like see merit in following. So anyway, that's always been like a huge problem when I was a kid and as a young adult. So anyway, where am I going with all of this?
You're just talking about the downtime and how like...
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I was in trouble all the time and I was grounded. So like, number one, I'm being forced to have like downtime where really I'm just not supposed to hang out with friends. I can like read or just be in my room and like be quiet. So like journal, draw, whatever. I hated it. And then same with being grounded, right? You can't like talk on the phone. You can't go hang out with your friends. You can't watch TV. Like read or draw. It was a nightmare. It was horrible for me. I would just like, I'd be angry, so angry, especially if I needed to have downtime. I don't know how my mom decided that I needed downtime. Actually, that's a good question. I should ask her. Like, why did you do this to me? Did Laura need this? I have a sister who's 3 years younger than me. I don't remember her doing that to Laura. Maybe Laura just tends to do stuff by herself. She's very independent, like quiet person. I say quiet just because she'll paint or read or whatever, and she'll be happy doing that for like hours on end. Whereas for me, the epitome of life was hanging out with your friends and having fun.
Right.
That's still the epitome of my life. That's what I want. I constantly, that's also a consume. That's why I'm just shocked because I feel like I'm always living in a state of like, what's the next thing that I can like look forward to? I feel like I just monologued for like 10 solid minutes.
Interesting. You did go for a while, but it was relevant. I mean, definitely relevant. We've been both processing like, certainly it looks like there's some sort of introverted energy that's missing. So thinking that one of the introverted animals... Why do I think that I have
that, though? That's the thing is, like, why does my brain keep going back to thinking, like, oh, it was different? The only thing I can think of was when I had panic attacks.
Right.
And I literally, like, 180'd. My entire personality seemed to 180.
Well, that also seems almost like your body or your mind like forcing you to slow down in a way, right?
Oh yeah, I've thought of that.
It's like a mandatory downtime.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of interesting and illuminating in a way. But at the same time, like, it's interesting. I'm thinking of that old video that you did with David where you got a little snippy with him, and
the one with the Christmas hats?
Yeah, with the Christmas hats where
oh, I can be my own freaking cheerleader.
Yeah, you're like, you can be your own cheerleader, and yeah, you're like, that was like a real moment of, you even say it in the video, like, F.I., like...
That's your F.I., like, bitch slap or whatever it is. I don't know, T.E. bitch slap? What's the bitch slap?
Yeah, well, yeah, there's a T.E. bitch slap, but, you know, you were, like, firing off with, like... And I guess I could see, like, you could think of that as being, like, a little demonic in a way, right? Like, I'm playing nice, and now you're forcing me not to play nice, and I hate to do that. But either way, you're still seeing the introverted feeling. So it's just like, which one do you identify with? Obviously, I think people in general tend to identify more with their introverted functions, regardless of what those functions are. It's like the most identity-oriented functions.
I suppose. Maybe it depends on how you think of identity.
Oh yeah, that's totally fair. There would be so many people to disagree with me, but for me personally...
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, like, to think about my introverted thinking... Even though introverted sensing is not like a savior for me, I put a lot of stock into like the like creature comforts that I have like established for my life, and it's like hard for me to let go of. Like, I want to have my Soylent every day. I need my Soylent in the morning, like a true...
Yeah, oh my gosh. It's true, y'all. I'll be like, I'm making pancakes this weekend. We're going to have a nice big breakfast. And he'll eat like one pancake and be like, you got to have my Soylent. I'm like, you're freaking kidding me.
Which, who knows what that says about me, but yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Dissociate a little bit more. Yeah, what else to say?
I keep having realizations about this. This means like, oh shit, I had one. This means I have masculine thinking.
No, it doesn't. So the extroverted decider, the second F is for the extroverted decider.
Oh, okay, okay, I can get on board.
Yeah.
That I will agree with.
Masculine, introverted feeling.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. Yeah. I've had issues with having masculine, introverted feeling anyway. It's
like
it keeping me from like allowing me to enjoy my fucking life, and I'm like, why?
What do you think of when you think of that, if you don't mind?
Well, one example that will forever stick out in my mind is when Lana Del Rey became popular, and everyone around me started liking her, and I bought David. This was years ago. I bought David her record, I think her first one, for Christmas one year. I couldn't get on board with it, but he was like super into her. So I got it for him, and he loved it, along with everyone else. And I had hung on to this thought of like, I don't get it. I don't think it's really like great in any way. It just doesn't like get me. I don't get it, whatever. And even once I started to change my mind about her and her music, I didn't say it did. I kept being like, no, I don't like it. Even though, like, I did. And I was like, now looking back on that, I'm like, what a fucking idiot. Why did I do that? What was I preserving? I was preserving an image of myself for other people.
Interesting.
Right?
Oh, yeah,
what was going to happen to me or them if I actually said...
Suddenly started to like...
I couldn't, because people aren't going to expect that. That's going to be weird. People are going to be weirded out. I have to, like, keep this, like, this image, I guess.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. That's funny. That's a good example. You've mentioned that one before, but it wasn't occurring to me while you were talking.
Which is so dumb. Or like feeling pressure that I can't change my mind, or that somehow is like intense ambivalence. It's just like, people change all the time. Like, right. I don't know what it was.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's interesting, because that almost seems like a demon consume thing. It's like part of consume is like, I'm constantly willing to like change my mind or seek out alternatives and like
but
update.
I do that.
Well, yeah, and I can think of examples of you doing it too.
I feel like I do that way more than I don't do that. Like,
yeah,
the demon FI thing like that, or I shouldn't say demon, the masculine FI is like has definitely been like a sore spot.
Right.
But yeah, in general, the consume aspect, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like I'm always trying to find different, like, perspectives of things.
What could that be? Like, NETE? Perspective pinging?
Rather than what?
Well, so it kind of
like,
reminds me of when we were talking in the bedroom not too long ago, where I was talking about how I'm like I'm talking about like how I'm trying to build a worldview, and so it's like I'm seeking out these things that I want to, like a bunch of different patterns that I'm trying to like tie together with my TI. I don't really know how it works for FI though, so I can't really speak to that, but I feel like that's like when I'm consuming, and part of that's being info dominant as well, and like wanting the information to like click together. So maybe there's just too many variables for me to really process this right now, and spontaneously. But so another thing that I'm thinking of is like, I can't listen. These letters look so absurd to me.
That's so good.
Like you being on Joyce's channel that one time, and you like completely just like leading the group.
Yeah, I do have a tendency to do that.
Who was the first one to like fill the void when the void was there? Yeah. I don't know. I think I would.
I think I can agree with the TE and NE. I don't know if I'd put it in that order. I would still want to consider an ENFP.
Could be fun
NETE.
Yeah, it could be fun to look at like a couple of people who are on either side. You know, people who've been typed, and then see if there are any that you relate to more than others. Yeah. I do think this is one thing that I dislike about them expanding their business a bit. Like, they are accepting a lot more people coming through, and I think they're taking like less time, or they're making more like leaps. Like, okay, it's one of these. We're leaning more in this direction.
Yeah, they say that. You know,
yeah, they're
like,
honest about it.
This is our best guess, and I get that, and it's just like you said at the beginning, just another data point.
Right. But I feel like when I was getting typed, like I didn't just get like a short email like this. I got like a long document where they had like a checklist and they had notes, and they both gave me an audio.
Yeah, I wish I could have audios. I listened to other people's audios, but I also didn't give them an interview. Like, I didn't answer their questions.
Right.
I might still do that. I mean, I've thought about that. Just for like personal reflection and for having it out there. If anybody else wants to type me, you can use my videos, and maybe you can use that one if I make it.
I might actually ask the ENTP group if anybody wants to try to type you before I like reveal to them what your type is. Yeah.
Do it.
We'll see how that goes. That could be fun.
Yeah. Wait. So I have, according to them, right?
Yeah. According to
this is one typing
diagnosis.
I could go and get typed from other people, I'm sure, and
even
some
other
might
people
agree
in the
and some
OP
might
group.
disagree. Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, take it with a grain of salt, even though it's fun to think it's real, and then you get all like reactive.
You did take that unofficial OP test once, and I think you also got NETE in that.
When? I don't remember that at all.
Well, maybe you can take that as well. It's unofficial, obviously. It's the one that I'm making a video on currently.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I'll retake that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, regardless, I think I cut you off.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was saying. Oh, I was just kind of wanting to go through, like, the sexual modalities of all the functions then. Or at least my top stack. Sure. So, double feminine, that means TE is feminine. NE is masculine.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, whoa. SI is feminine, and then FI is masculine.
Yep, that's right.
So I'm alternating. Fem mask. Fem mask. Okay. So then my shadow.
I don't know how
do they
don't really talk about it. I don't know if the concept like applies across a shadow or what. Because I could see you making an argument either way. Like, do you attach the letter to the like N or S, or to the like human need?
Right.
Or yeah. So I don't know.
Okay, well, maybe a question for another day.
Yeah, that's interesting though. It's a good question. That's yeah.
Right, because it's not a traditional like ESTJ, so
No.
the function order is a little wonky.
Mm-hmm. And it makes me. I mean, yeah, I see a lot.
What's wrong with my fucking throat? Do you hear this? Every 5 seconds.
I mean, I do see a lot of merit though to the typing, especially insofar as it aligned with what my guess was.
Yeah, it made sense. The
Yeah.
T-any bit makes total sense to me.
And then
The high play makes sense. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. I personally might move sleep to the end and consume above blast, but leave blast in there. Because I do think you have more communicative abilities than you think you do. But clearly, like, it is, I think it is one of the, well, I just said meat, just like out of nowhere.
It made sense. I knew
Appreciate
what you
the
were
camel.
going with, because then
But I do think it seems like one of the introverted animals would be at the end. So if not consumed, then sleep.
I'm sorry, can you say that again? I just checked out.
You consuming what I'm saying? It seems to me like one of the introverted animals would have to be at the end. Because you do seem certainly more extroverted than me, and more extroverted than a lot of people, and play that archetype often in life. So I'm thinking if it's not consume at the end, then sleep would be at the end.
Yeah.
And then maybe I would slide the consume, so play, consume, blast, sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Great.
Just a thought.
That's your order. Oh, your consume play.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm sure this is something that will be on our minds.
How am I going to make videos, you guys?
Well,
I'm kidding.
Okay, good.
I'm still calling myself an INFP.
Hell
Just
yeah.
kidding. Did you see that I'm masculine?
For me, it's encouraging that you typed yourself upside down, at least according to the system. Like, it means that you're not just like by default identifying with what you're doing automatically, and you are actually, like, to me that's indicative of the growth.
I'm trying.
Right.
I guess. I don't know.
Like, and the video, like, you in your videos you are like processing things, and you're like talking through it. I mean, it seems like you're talking through like emotions, and you're giving people a pep talk in some ways. So I don't know, it seems like you have prioritized that balance in that way. So regardless, it would be a good thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, what you're saying, there's merit to it. I mean, what people don't know about when I filmed the majority of my videos is that I might be filming for an hour, 2 hours, and you see 17 minutes. There's a shit ton of silence. There's a shit ton of like random whatever that's not pertinent. I mean, it used to take me forever to edit videos. It was a nightmare. And I was like, why, if I think about it, why am I making videos on those topics? It was always when some like lightning idea would come into my head, I'd feel like I needed to get it out. But then so often sitting down to film, it's like it would either go away or then my train of thought would go somewhere else to something that just like needed to be worked on. And it was the most frustrating thing. Maybe my more recent videos aren't like that. It's easier editing. Everything comes out quicker. But I don't think I'm doing the same kind of processing. It's like videos with you. It's the video where I'm just like doing my makeup.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the point of me saying that was.
That's okay. Doesn't always have to be a point.
Sweet. Okay. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Yeah, thank you guys.
You can see my forehead being ready. Get it to come. There it is. You see it?
I see it.
If I laugh, it'll come.
That's the FI showing.
Okay, yeah. I don't. Do we need to say more on this?
I don't think so.
Y'all submit your questions. Submit your compliments.
Definitely do that. Yeah.
Comments.
Cool beans. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
How long have we? 30. Oh, good. I thought for some reason it's been like an hour.
Yeah, me too. I was like, that meat or that
That meat?
that what are we making in the
meatloaf? No, that was what we were gonna make.
That's why
lasagna.
Meat. Appreciate the camel.
Okay, am I missing something here? You say this like every day to me.
Okay, this is probably not going to make the cut in the video,
because then you showed me my camel thingy in the beginning of one of my other videos, and I'm like, is that actually connected or what? I like assumed, I was like, sure, it could make sense. Except
that I showed you that clip of the video that I made last week where I was trying to speak and the camera started wobbling, and I tried to say, like, hey guys watching the video, appreciate the camel.
That's right.
Camera wobble.
And you said camel.
Appreciate the camel.
That's right. Okay.
And when I just said meat, anyway, we're not making meatloaf.